What's up, everybody? This is Urzio99, and we are proceeding with the final stretch of the Sisters Epic Arc. As you can see, we've moved our... as you can see, the last chapter closing in. So we're getting into the home stretch. So I've secured the MOA down here in Arnon. See, we're all set up and ready to go. Alright, A Stranger's Face. Your anger is understandable, but we've got more reason to cooperate than to quarrel. Dagon's your real enemy. You'll be interested to know that some of his corpmates have been spotted at a nearby station. We've prepared an agent to gain their confidence and extract information on their further operations. To you, she'll be Tahaki Karen, a ship's engineer from the Damsel. Before our operative can infiltrate Jagan's group, Karen's identity records will need to be altered. Take these records to an archive station. Once they're updated there, our friends will make sure they're changed throughout the entire network. So we're going to help the sisters plant a spy. Okay. Okay.
Warp drive active.
4 jumps to go get this straightened out. We'll get this dropped off. Now this will take a little longer because the MOA doesn't warp as fast as the Cormorant did, but that's fine.
Warp drive active. Warp drive active. drive active.
And we're almost there. You see what I mean about going slower? Cruisers tend to go around 3 AU a second, which is much slower than the 5 that we're used to.
Warp drive active. Docking permission requested. Docking request accepted.
Now we have to go back to Sister Alitura to proceed with our mission.
Warp drive active.
Ah, and looks like we triggered a storyline agent. Every 16 or so missions you do, you'll get this. It says, I am in need of your services for a very special mission. Please come meet me at Chiru 10 Move 3, Sisters Bureau, as soon as possible. This mission is of the utmost importance to Sisters of Eve and will not go unnoticed in the world. I've uploaded the mission details to your Neocom journal.
Warp drive active.
Okay. The story missions can go a few different ways, but they typically result in a gain in the faction standing. Normally with a mission you gain standing with the individual agent and the individual agent's corporation. And in this instance, we're being offered a mission that will give us standing with the entire Sisters of Eve faction. So there's the Sisters Corporation, and is a member of the Servant Sisters of Eve. So, as you can see, there's 3 corporations within the Servant Sisters of Eve. There's Food Relief, which is
Warp drive active.
the guys we rescued, those FR personnel. Food Relief is the humanitarian aid arm of the Sisters. The company collects donations from all over the world of Eve and uses them to buy food and medicine, which it then distributes to those in need. Then you have the Sanctuary. The Sanctuary is the center of the science research of the Sisters are undertaking on the Eve Gate. It also acts as a typical refuge haven as all other SOE stations, but this activity is secondary to its scientific pursuits. It was actually the Sanctuary that designed the Sisters' ships. And of course we have the Sisters of Eve, a humanitarian organization that's based on religion. The Sisters operate many stations outside Empire space where weary travelers can seek refuge. SOE is also engaged in a scientific research project on the Eve Gate, which they consider to be the gateway to heaven and are determined to unlock its secrets. Yeah. Probably have to do a video on the test server where I'd go to the Eve Gate so we can see it in all its ultra quality glory. Oh, this is just a pick and a drop, but it rewards us with a chip. It rewards us with an implant. Plus it'll be faction standing, so that's always valuable.
Warp drive active.
Okay, let's see what else Alatura has for us. Well, that guy went whole hog.
Docking permission requested.
That ship that briefly undocked for a moment was a Gila. That's the Greasta's version of this ship.
Docking request accepted.
They require a lot more skill points and they are very expensive. Okay, here's the... That's the distribution storyline mission. What about you, sister? With those records replaced, our agent is Tahaki Karen. What happened to the real one? Electronically speaking, she's a non-person. She's alive and safe, though. If she wanted better, she shouldn't have joined the society. Now we need to get our Karen into place. I filed the travel request in her name with the society as granted. All you need to do is rendezvous with the society transport and drop her off. Once that's done, we'll wait for her to tell us where Dagon is. So now we've gone from data espionage to actually delivering a spy. Her face is close enough if you've only seen a photo or holo. Right height, right weight. Her voice is close enough too. Accent, vocabulary, everything suggests this is Tahaki Karen. She isn't, of course. You've been pre-warned.
Warp drive
Anyone who
active.
knew the original would find themselves hard put to detect the mimic. There are little things though. The scar on her neck is newer, the nails are felled smooth rather than roughly clipped, and she listens to everything. She doesn't make a point of it, of course, but she's taking in everything. The whine of the electrical system, the buzz coming off gravity plating. Who is she really? You don't know. But she's closer to being Karen than she is anyone else. Close enough. So yeah, they have... Apparently the sisters are very good at making spies. Okay, there's the luxury space liner. That looks more like it's an Opux luxury yacht. So we're gonna afterburn on over there. It's the other thing about cruisers is they take a while to get up to speed because they're so much heavier. Public intelligence tells me you have a lead on our prodigal son, Dagan. He needs to be taken down for everyone's sake. The Republic will watch your back. Our cruiser just warped off, and we're done. So yeah, the various factions that you've been interacting with will now contact you. And will offer their support in the final battle against Dagan.
Docking permission requested. Docking request accepted.
Okay, I dropped off your lady. Karen's information is still coming in, but if you really want to find Dagan, you're going to have to help us deal with a little problem. The Society of Conscious Thought has deployed a refitted cruiser, the Omnipresence, nearby, with a substantial escort. We think they may be recording our local communications. If they are, there's a good chance they'll be able to decipher them and root out our agent. The Society will certainly murder our sister if they uncover her identity. We need her to locate the Omnipresence and destroy her. If necessary, engage her escort, but try not to destroy them. The loss of human life would be catastrophic. Yeah, that's going to be a no. First rule of combat. You shoot at me, you die. What's up, dudes?
drive active.
Little hit and run action. They all warped off. I'm Daddy Youssef from Ishiko and Eternal Security. We've been monitoring data traffic between you and the sisters. No, don't get excited. We're all on the same side here. The state will help you get Dagon, as long as you hand him over to us once you've got him. So that was our Caldari contact.
Docking permission requested. Docking request
And
accepted.
ultimately who we're going to side with. Excellent work. The omnipresence has been destroyed. There's no indication she managed to inform her society masters. We'll be resuming contact with Karen immediately. Our agent hasn't been able to determine where Dagon is, but in decoding her sensory data, we managed to pick up a clue. An Amar pilot named Christian Parthas recently delivered a cargo of drone parts to Dagon. These parts were black market and may have been scavenged from some of your recent battles. We contacted Parthas. He's an independent operator, but wouldn't see the light. We've managed to locate him by tracing his comm signals. Unfortunately, it will be necessary to bring him in for a meeting under duress. Our archive data suggests Parthas will travel with a small contingent of sport ships, identify his command vessel, destroy it, and bring him to me, personally. Okay. So this is where it's going to get ugly. Because this guy has... The last time I played this mission, he was in an Amarian battlecruiser, which is where a destroyer would have no hope
Warp drive active.
of being able to take him on. And they put me fairly close to him, which is not good. Hardeners on. You'll notice it's taking longer to lock these guys. And I'm being tracking disrupted and energy neutralized. Right now I'm going to worry about clearing off these mercenaries. Yep, the neutralization is starting to really take its toll.
The capacitor is empty.
Yep, no
Warp
more
drive
cap.
active.
Yeah, he's doing a lot of damage now. I'm gonna park outside this
Warp
I only
drive
did a partial
active.
warp because I had so little capacitor left in my ship. So I'm going to warp back to this Rataru over here, and I'm just going to park outside. And if I can tether, it should replenish my capacitor and my shields. You can see the capacitors filling back up, as are the shields. So we'll get this back up to full, and then we'll take on our little friend directly without his mercenaries getting in the way.
Warp drive active.
Yeah, 100 gigajoules a second, which means I got maximum maybe 10 seconds. I can do the continual pounding away. getting his shields down, but he's got that NOS. Keeping us at range? It appears he's trying to, at least. And he appears to be succeeding. Yeah, we haven't gotten any closer to him. We're probably not going to. Here's where it's going to get rough, because he's a battlecruiser. He's got a pretty significant armor layer because of Marian. Yeah, he's just repaired. Yeah, he just repaired again. Jeez.
Warp drive active.
Yeah.
The capacitor is empty.
Yeah, we're gonna have to we're gonna have to rush him. Because we don't have, our long-range ammo doesn't have enough damage to break his tank. Because he'll just repair it.
Warp drive active.
Now we're doing some damage, at least to the shields.
Warp drive active.
I had him. I was right on top of him, and he just, for some reason, this thing didn't keep a range when I told it to. And of course he promptly auto-repaired it all once I started getting out of range. So I've got the DPS to defeat his tank, I just don't have... I have to get in super close.
Warp drive active.
Take 3. Well, he's a lot closer. I got him in the hole. This could be it. I'm overheating my afterburner to catch up with him. Turn off overload. And I got him in my cargo hold. That's an Amar citizen you've kidnapped, pilot. But I understand your motives correctly. We can overlook that. Once you've extracted Dagon's location, we'll help you bring the Hammer of God down on that bastard. Good. Okay. Finally, loot the field. I'm hoping one of these guys has a micro warp drive, because it's clear the afterburner is just not cutting it. I may have to make a little trip to Dixie and pick up. I'm going to need to pick up more hybrid ammo for sure, but I'm definitely going to consider picking up a micro warp drive as well. Possibly even some bigger guns, because the short range ammo on these is just too short. You want to keep these enemies at a distance. And it's clear the long range ammo doesn't have enough stopping power. And of course the game wants to try and run itself. Quiet in person, he's known both a wild gambler and a man who can cover his debts. His success in outfitting and executing illegal missions is similar. He takes a lot of risks, but thinks practically and can generally repay his debts. Well, maybe once, but once the sisters are done with it, I'm tempted to just chuck him out of an airlock. Okay.
Warp drive active.
I'm going to go back to that Rataru real quick and get a nice, cheap, well, free, this module damage to get it repaired. Well, got that done, so we'll go ahead and
Warp drive active.
dock this up.
Docking permission requested. Docking request accepted.
Mr. Suhi be treated humanely and compensated well. We finally determined Dagon's location. It appears he's outfitting another expedition. If he successfully acquires more of these drones and worse, maintains control of them, he and his clients will be able to wreak terrible destruction across the cluster. I'm sure you can take out Dagon yourself, but it looks like he's hired some muscle. You've made some Imperial contacts, yes? They might be able to clear a path for you to engage Dagon. The Empires will want Dagon not just for justice, but not for his knowledge. Accept their help, but consider delivering him into our merciful hands instead. We'll spare him and make sure his knowledge does no harm. You have a choice between the Empires. Which one do you want to help you in taking down Dagon? Okay, now this is where you side with an empire. Whichever side you work with, you're going to get a significant standings gain with that faction. So we'll put this in as an example here. I'm currently 0.76 with the Caldari state. So I'm going to go visit him in Sosh. But first, as I said before, I'm going to head to Dodixie. We need to get more ammo because these guns chew through it. We're probably going to get bigger guns too because the range on these is just not cutting it, especially for the close range ammo. So we're going to get bigger caliber guns. We'll sell off all this scrap, and then we'll switch out this afterburner for a micro warp drive, if I have the fitting resources for it.
Drive active.
So we get those fitting changes done. We'll be able to command distance or close in if we need to. With the micro warp drive, we'll have bigger caliber guns, which means we should be doing more damage per shot. And we'll have increased range on our weaponry. And while we're en route, I'm going to determine how much more range we're going to have. Now we've got 200 millimeter, 250, and then the dual 150s that we had. Optimal 14, 29 fall off. Yes, that will do nicely.
Warp drive active. Warp drive active.
Okay. Well, it's either bigger guns or the micro warp drive. Because we definitely don't have enough power grid. What if... Ouch. Yeah. That's gonna hurt.
Docking permission requested. Docking request accepted.
We have a bit of a quandary. Let's see what happens if we fit just the guns. Okay, looks like it'll fit if I have to keep the afterburner though. Okay. That's 200s though. Yeah, 158. Then the 250s. 198. So yeah, they won't fit. They'll have to use the 200 millimeters. Okay, look at that. Package, stack, sell. Of course, it sells for next to nothing because trade hub. We'll go ahead and let's not blow on the faction stuff just yet. We'll get another 1,500 rounds. Okay. This is as good as it's going to get. We've only got a little bit of power grid left. And we can't get anything bigger prop mod wise. Micro warp drives consume a ton of power. And they reserve 10% of your capacitor capacity. So yeah, not the most fun in the world. Now, let's head eight jumps.
Warp drive active.
12 and 25, so we've definitely got more room to play with to kite. Plus we're doing more damage per shot, so
Warp drive active.
and we'll head over there. We should be able to get word. It looks like these guns don't carry as much inside their cargo. The dual guns that we had were essentially made for rate of fire. So they kept a lot of they keep a higher ammo capacity so that you're not reloading as often.
Warp drive active.
So we'll make the trip, as it were. Now the cruiser that Dagon's in, the last few times I fought him, was a Jovian cruiser.
Warp drive active.
And they were pretty tough. I mean, you saw how tough his boy was, and he was in a battle cruiser. But Jovians have advanced technology. There was a story that they wrote for the Eve Chronicles and the lore of this game, and supposedly the Amarian fleet, which is the biggest of all the empires, went toe-to-toe with a Jovian fleet. And they got curb stomped. Like not even a competition.
Warp drive
Like the
active.
Jovians lost like 4 ships and the Amarians lost like over 100. That should give you an idea of the disparity in technology that the Jovians possess. And the 4 ships that the Jovians lost were frigates. They weren't even like cruisers or battleships. They were frigates. Meanwhile, the Amarian fleet, which had lots of battleships, yeah, didn't survive. So I'm more worried about what kind of damage this guy does, because he fires projectile weapons, which means he could do almost any kind of damage.
Warp drive active.
But first, we gotta get to him.
Warp drive active.
Come on, come on, come on. hope this guy's not going where I think he's going. If he tries to confront Dagan in that cormorant, he's going to get murder zoned.
Warp drive active.
Donnie Youssef.
Warp drive active.
There's our boy from Internal Security. The Mega in the Caldari faction list, you'll find that each of the mega corporations has a separate corporation that is basically their security forces. And Internal Security is the security force of the Ishikone Corporation. And he's got a Raven. Our man Dagan. We are ready when you are. My forces will disarm the station. Engage Dagan and retrieve him from his pod. Okay. And now the fun begins. Our man Dagan.
Warp drive active.
Let's see how bad it's going to be. Okay. There's Dagan. Oh, great. Well, all of our buddies just died. And Dagan is target painting me. I'm going to try and pick off his escorts, because if I don't, they'll cause me problems if they close, because I won't be able to hit them. I think you want to get a little close to me, Dagan. Oh god, he's flying a Gnosis. That's even worse. he's got a substantial resist to thermal, apparently. Kinetic and explosive. I'm not worried. I should be able to whittle him down, but he's going to repair pretty aggressively. Yeah, see, he's repairing pretty hardcore. Starting to whittle him down some, but as long as I can keep scoring telling hits on him, I can get past his shield layer. I don't think he repairs armor or structure. Yeah, just got to keep it optimal. Get him to start. There we go. No, I was gonna say he has like no shield lead. Yeah, his shields have 0 bleed through. Typically when you get a ship into low shields, they'll actually start bleeding armor. But you can train the tactical shield manipulation skill to 5 to mitigate that. Apparently he's got that skill trained. Looks like we got him. He's in hull. Yep. 2,000 ISK. Party explosion. Almost ran out of ammo. So, now he didn't do as much damage to us because kinetic and explosive are naturally strong resists for shields, but hello, Dagon. Now let's loot our wrecks and we'll be ready to get out of here. But yeah, he's a tough fight. And you see how aggressive his shield regeneration is. A Cormorant would have to get close, super close to use short-range ammo, and he'd tear you apart. Plus, he'd regenerate. Your best bet, I think, against Dagon is to use explosive damage, which means either using a Minmatar ship with fusion ammo loaded, or using Nova missiles. For an early alpha character, I mean, those are going to be your choices. More metal scraps. A little bit of loot. As you can see, our capacitor is slowly regenerating. Now you can improve all of your performance with the various skills you can train, but that takes a while, especially as an alpha, since you only get half training speed. Got a few heavy missiles out of that one. Looks like I've got to go to him to talk to him, so that'll be a minute.
Warp drive active.
Complete mission. Okay. As per our agreement with the sisters, we will turn Dagan over to their care. A sister's ship awaits his delivery. Sister Alatura assures me he'll be treated humanely.
Warp drive active.
Okay.
Warp drive active.
Hello, old friend. Simply deposit Dagan in the Wreath prison transport, and your long journey will be at an end. No matter what you see, I must ask you to stay calm and do not fire. Okay. Apparently the sister is suspecting a surprise of some sort. That doesn't look like an Armageddon. That looks like a Concorde ship. Okay. It says, I repeat, do not fire. And that's a drone hive. Okay. I told you had nothing to fear, pilot. Thanks for your help. The rogue drones need no longer be a hindrance to our efforts. Return to your commander. Tell him Dagon will no longer trouble the empires. Farewell. Perhaps there is hope for your kind yet.
Warp drive active.
So yeah, this ginormous drone hive just casually jumps in and no one makes a word about it. But yeah, they say that's an Armageddon, but that is not looking like an Armageddon to me. Amar. Yeah. That's an Armageddon. Looks like they mislabeled it. They inserted a Concorde ship. Okay, complete the mission. Money! The rogue drones did what? That's the damnedest thing I've heard, that they think for themselves, but I never heard of them just watching like that. There's something much larger going on than we realize. Regardless, you've been a tremendous help to the Caldera state. Whether you continue your efforts defending the empires or forge your own empires with your fellow Capsuleers in the depths of lawless space, know that you have proven your worth as a demigod. And we got 1,000,000 credits and a 39,000 credit time bonus. So, let's see here. We ended up making about 8 million ISK off the entirety of the arc, and that's with paying for a new cruiser. So, yeah, because here's where we bought stuff. There's where we sold stuff. See, that right there was 7.1 million. That was probably that was the cruiser. So, oh, he's close.
Warp drive active.
Like, he is literally the next system over. I think I'll go do this real quick. So overall, I mean, we made about 8 million ISK, and we of course spent 8 million ISK. So you can, and that's without salvaging those wrecks. If you really wanted to go through the time and effort, you could have fit a salvager to one of those slots in your destroyer, and you could salvage the wrecks, which would yield loot which is worth even more. So it's just a matter of being willing to do the work. But for a simple shoot and loot, it's not a bad amount of money. Plus, at the end of it all, we've got a
Warp drive active.
We've got our destroyer, we've got a cruiser, we've got ammo, we've got some shield hardeners. So we've got halfway decent fittings to go into level 1 and possibly even level 2 missions at this point. So I'd say that's a pretty good success. Now, as far as our faction standing, with the Caldari State, we just jumped up considerably. As you can see here, we were
Docking permission
0.71,
request accepted.
0.44. We literally doubled our standing with the Caldari State. So I would call that a pretty cool deal. Okay. A 2 jump courier mission as a storyline, easy peasy. Easy peasy. So it's important to see where these,
Warp drive active.
how these missions affect your standing. The society is got a little bit of standing, but most people have a little bit of standing toward the society just because you're a Capsuleer. See, we got a little bit with the Empire and the Amatar Mandate. The Gallente don't like us because, well, Caldari. The Khanid and the Amar, the Amatar, and the Khanid like us because we're allies. They like the Caldari State, so we get derived standing for them. Every bit of points we get for these guys gives us a little bit with these guys too. We've got a 1.13 with the sisters, which means we can do level 2 missions for the sisters. Very, very nice. You see, we picked up a little bit with various other corporations that we dealt with along the way. It's like Creodron, Hyasoda, Ishikone, Watch, Carousel Tribe. Overall, a very nice little
Warp drive active.
way to boost your standings in the beginning and get yourself some access. Now with that Caldari State standing, we should be able to go to any Caldari corporation, and we should be able to get level 2 missions because we'll use faction standing. So from here you can go off on missions with your chosen faction. You can do a little work for the sisters. Pretty nice little gig. But as you can see by the setup, I mean, no one really lives out here.
Warp drive active.
Only 4 people in local. But we are kind of on the butt end of Genesis. We're kind of out here in the middle of nowhere. Now this system is the one I was going to take you to. This is the Eve constellation, and it's in Genesis, which is the region we're in. You can see we've got exit,
Active.
gateway, central point, dead end, Canard, Promised Land, and New Eden. This is the system where the Eve Gate resides. And as you can see, there's nothing. There's one planet. But there's a huge anomaly there where the Eve Gate was. It's essentially a wormhole that opened near Earth in the future.
Warp drive active.
And they were beginning to colonize this cluster. They're using the wormhole. And while the colonies were still being established, the Eve Gate collapsed in on itself very violently and pretty much obliterated everything in the New Eden system. So, the colonies that would later become the various races and sub-bloodlines of the empires were on their own, and they regressed technologically. They eventually
Information requested.
rediscovered space travel, linked up with each other, found it very odd that
Docking request
we all
accepted.
looked the same and had the similar physiology. Okay, we get a social adaptation ship and a pretty big standings increase. As you can see, we get a little bit of modification because Ore is friendly with the Ore is a Galente company, so they're not too happy that I was gaining faction with the state during the new player experience doing the career agent missions. You gain significant faction standing, which in turn lowers your standing with people that don't like you. That's why the Galente don't like me. But they like me a little bit more now because I did a mission for the sisters. So, that should be pretty much it. Yeah, the faction, the Servant Sisters, went up a little bit. As you can see, the standings for me for the sisters went up a little bit too from this mission. So, that's basically what you do to gain standing. Now I can request another mission from him, but he's just going to tell me no. Sorry, I only work with people I trust. Come back once you have a referral. Yeah, they will contact you. Random storyline agents will contact you roughly every 16th mission you do for a faction. So that should be it. I mean, we've pretty much got everything under wraps here. So that was the Sisters Epic Arc. Where you go from here is entirely up to you. Of course, if you have any questions about industry, new player-oriented groups, of course, I still have videos on my channel. Some of the information may be old. If not, you can always drop me a line. You can send email to this fella, Uziel99. This is my current combat main character. I log into him every day, so I'll always see any mails you send me, and I'll be happy to answer your questions. Or comment down below if you have anything specific in mind, or if you have any requests for videos to cover. Let me know. Until then, I'm Uziel99, and I will see you next time.